Dorothy with Dot Scrapbooking back again, and I'm using Sprigs and Sentiments to make a card. And so it's got thin cuts and this pretty stamp set that has all different kinds of leaf sprigs to make clusters or however you want to use them. So I really like this. And I am going to go ahead and I've already cut them out with the thin cut that comes with it. And I'm just going to go ahead and use the flip side of my layout mat, my Versa mat, and I'm going to ink it in the ever wonderful intensive black ink. Dries fast and you can color over it. So that's why, and you know, I just like that the fact that it can dry, you know, almost, well, just within seconds, and you can start coloring right away, you know, as opposed to the archival black ink is beautiful. It's a very rich black, but it takes a long time to dry, and ain't nobody got time for that. So here I go. I'm always in a rush, and going ahead and cleaning off each stamp in between and putting it back, because these are small enough and thin enough that they could get lost, and I don't want that to happen. I can count on 3 fingers the number of stamps, the small pieces of stamps that I've lost. But, you know, it's because you put things back right away instead of letting them accumulate. And I hate losing a stamp. I really hate it. So anyway, there's all different characters to these leaves. So I am combining a color challenge also from the Color Dare challenge, and I'm using paprika honey butter, which just sounds delicious, and sage. And I am going to use my watercolor brush. So it has a tube of water with it and a brush at the end, and so you can squeeze out water and add color. And so it makes it very easy for doing watercoloring. There's so many different ways. Who knew there were so many ways of doing watercoloring? So I'm just going to go ahead and flip these guys over. So that's the card that I'm going to be making. Generally speaking, get all my little sprigs down, and then I'm going to flip it over and go ahead and start painting. So there's my sage, and what I'm doing is I'm pressing the cap onto the stamp pad and then just taking the brush and adding color to it. So, and it's got a very pointy brush to it, so it makes for very easy coloring. And, you know, I just find with watercoloring, I don't want to say I'm sloppy, but it's pretty easygoing, and I don't really mind if it's not perfect, because watercolor is rarely perfect. So I'm making a few of these sprigs sage green. And because I am going to be using some fall papers, I'm going to use the 4 Seasons Autumn collection from the core catalog. And I really do like that paper. Now here's the honey butter. And you know, surprisingly, this honey butter, I thought it was going to be awfully light, but look at the amount of color you get from that. So true to form, kind of looks like honey. So I'm making some of the honey butter sprigs. So I figured in fall, you know, you've got green, but the green is starting to turn colors, so I'm adding a little bit of color to the other sprigs that I've the couple that I've done already. And then I'm using the paprika. And so this technique of getting a little bit of ink on the top of the ink pad just works out perfectly for your little ink well. And I'm just adding a little paprika here and there, like the leaves are starting to turn, you know, but still have some green in them. And I did make the berries paprika because, you just got to do that. And then there are some leaves that just become brilliant, brilliant red and orange. And so I'm accommodating some of those type leaves. I have no idea what any of that kind of looks like a fern to me, but so I'm just kind of putting some color on the little fatter leaves, and then I'm going to add some of the honey butter to it. Just to keep things interesting. So if you haven't watercolored this way, I would suggest getting a watercolor brush. They're very inexpensive. And you can get anything here from dorothy.closetomyheart.com. So, like I said, it's a very fun, easy way to watercolor. So I'm using the small shaker window. This is really the first time that I've made a small shaker. So I've done the big round ones, and I've done heart-shaped ones, and I've done rectangle ones. So this is the first time that I'm making this small one. Now I made this background for another card and never did use it. It's from, it's stitched swirl background or something. Anyway, it's still available on the website, and you can find it under, die cuts or thin cuts. And since I had it and it's the right color, it's paprika, I'm going ahead and putting it on the background. It takes up the full 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inch size of the A2 card. And this is one of the little plaids from the Four Seasons Autumn collection. And I'm adding this, is that tweed or is that houndstooth? It's one of those. So that's 2 of the backgrounds there from the autumn collection, the Four Seasons Autumn collection. And then I am just going ahead and putting the sprigs around, and I cut, and there's a little cute little scallop that you can decorate the front, or you can use this plain stitched one like that. So I'm having a hard time deciding. I think I'm going to use the plain stitched one just because the sprigs take up a lot of room. That looks cute too. It's so hard. Such a hard time making a decision. But I went ahead and cut out white and paprika to at the same time. So easy to do with our nice little die cutting machine. Okay, so I'm placing my foam down on the bigger circle that's made for the shaker window. And I'm going to add, I just got these new little spoons at the Scrapbook Expo on Friday. So they're perfect little, my ice cream spoon was really too big, but these are little bitty spoons. So they're perfect for the small shaker window. So I'm trying to find my little kind of eraser thing that finds the cover to pull it off. And I was going to stamp a sentiment on the inside of the circle, but then I decided this is small, and these little sequins are a little big. Some of them are leaves. So I decided to not, I think it would be too hard to read it. That's why I didn't put it in there. So I'm just stacking up my sprigs. And putting them in kind of a semicircle. Whoop, stay there. And the last one. So I'm putting those down with my Tombow. So anyway, they make a nice array, and it's a good color combination. And then I'm going to go ahead and stick it down with a whole bunch of Tombow and put it right down there to kind of cover up the conglomeration of sprigs. And then I put my cover on top. But I need to let that sit, so I'm going to put a block on top of it. And I'm going to make and I'm going to stamp it in black, but there's a couple of, see, there's a happy hello that comes with one of the sentiments on this thing, and I like that, a happy hello. You shouldn't have, but I'm glad you did. That I don't have anything to go with that, but at least for now. So I'm gonna do like, and I didn't know whether I should pull out my archival black and put it directly on the front of the shaker window, but then I thought, oh gosh, I don't want to mess it up in case I mess it up. So I'm just going to go ahead and take one of those circles, kind of cut off the top and bottom of the circle and put the sentiment down below. So a happy hello. So there's my card. And, you know, pretty fast. I did it in like 30 minutes or so. And that's with me thinking. You know, so if you plan things out, then, you know, you can get things done quicker. So I use sage, paprika, and honey butter. And that will be a nice little masculine card. I just know a nice man to send that to. So I'm going to go ahead and, sorry about that. There's my card. So happy hello. So please subscribe. Bye. Hi, I'm Dorothy Smith. Thanks for watching my video, and please subscribe to my YouTube channel and learn along with me. Thanks. Bye-bye.